Hey, what is up, awesome people? Shady Wags with Got Your Back Gaming, and I've had some questions about ship design, and more specifically about how I'm able to get 6 engines in the bottom of my ship and still keep a relatively small design. So the first thing I'm going to go over is the basics of ship design. To edit a schematic, you're going to go to a shipyard and then click on the ship schematic and then click on edit ship frame, and that's going to pull up the current schematic. You can zoom in and out using the mouse wheel, and you can rotate around the design by holding the right mouse button down. The shaded areas in the schematic, those represent decks, and the wires represent beams. By holding the left mouse button over an orange block and pulling it left or right, you can either extend a block making the ship longer, or you can remove a block making the ship shorter. And by holding the left mouse button on a yellow block and pulling it either up or down, you can raise the ship up a level or you can remove a level. And if we click on a green orb, it's then going to pull up 5 sliders. By moving the orange slider, it's going to adjust the width of the deck and the beams. By moving the blue slider, that's going to adjust the length of the deck and the beams. Moving the green slider will tilt the beams up and down, and you notice once you tilt the beams, the deck then disappears. You can't have a deck on a slanted surface. Once you tilt it, the deck is removed from the design. But you can't place vertical wings on a deck, so in order to place vertical wings, you have to have slanted beams somewhere on your design. So that slanted area won't have a deck, but you can place panels on tilted beams. The 2 pink sliders, those adjust the angle of the top and bottom side walls. You'll see that anytime I adjust a pink slider, it automatically adjusts the opposite side to keep the ship symmetrical. By using all these sliders, you're going to be able to get some pretty crazy ship designs. One thing to take into consideration though when designing your ship is to pay attention to forward on the grid, because that is the front of your ship, and when you place the helm down, that's the way it's going to face. There is no way to rotate the helm. It's always going to face in that forward position. And I actually made this mistake a couple times that I didn't pay attention, and I built the ship backwards and I ended up having to salvage the frame. So yeah, make sure that you're building your ship in the correct direction. Another mistake I made, and I see a lot of people doing this, is when they want to try to fit multiple engines in the bottom of their ship and they're trying to cover them up. And what they do is they start making the decks larger, but you really don't need to do that because the engines snap to the sidewalls of the ship and not the decks. And you have to remember, the larger the deck size, the more weight that's going to add to the ship. And if you make the decks too large, it's going to limit the amount of additional items you can place on your ship. You will have to extend the decks out a little bit, but by angling the sidewalls out further, that's going to allow you to fit 2 engines on both side walls into the bottom area and still give you plenty room in the middle to move around. And it's keeping that deck size small, which equals out to less weight. If your goal is to cover up your entire ship like this with no gaps, then you're going to have to focus on adjusting the size of that top side wall. I wish there was a measurement tool I could just give you guys a number, but there isn't, so you kind of just have to play around with it. My advice is to only adjust 1 block, save it, and craft the frame. Then go and attach some panels to it, see if that's what you want, see if it looks right, then salvage the frame and then build it out further. If it's not right, then just adjust it further and keep trying until you get it correct. So that's just a simple guide to editing ship schematics. In the next video, I'm going to show you guys my favorite ship design. There are no hatches or doors in the game right now, but this is a design that I came up with that actually has makeshift doors. So keep an eye out for that video. So that's all I have for now. Hope you guys found this video useful. If you did, hit that thumbs up button. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, later.
Yeah, Shady Wags got your back. It's so entertaining. You need to subscribe to Got Your Back Gaming, gameplay and reviews, even doing walkthroughs. This the best gaming channel. I'm just telling you the truth. PS4, Xbox One, or even PC. Plenty tips, all the tricks. This is just what you need.